G'day, I'm Stacky. I'm a tier 2 Valorant coach, and today we are continuing our series of the 1 Pro Invitational analysis. We're looking at all of the matches from this event. It was a really fun event to watch with exhibition matches between Fnatic, Zeta, Detonation, and DRX. And today we're looking at Fnatic and Zeta on Haven. Now, moving into 2023, assuming there's going to be no major changes to Haven or agent balance, at least for the start of the year, Haven's going to see sort of two main sort of variations in comp. We're going to see a lot of Breach and a lot of Killjoy predominantly. And then most teams are going to run Jet with the Sova or Raze with the Fade. There might be some crossover there. And then it comes to the controller. Astra versus Omen are the two premier controllers on Haven. There's a lot of positives for both of them. And we're going to look at the different ways that they can be utilized today. So both Fnatic and Zeta played a lot for this early A lobby control. They fought for it a lot. And you can see the different ways that the Omen and Astra util contributed to fighting for this space. So let's look at the differences and figure out what would you prefer to run. So the first round that we're going to look at today is round 4. The first full buy for both teams minus a judge for depth. And we have this really nice idea here from Zeta on defense between the Killjoy and the Omen, as well as the Sova here, to create a really nice strong hold on A between the three of them. And we'll break that down in a little bit. So coming into the round, we're going to see this early Breach stun. It's going to stun A, and then we also get the Fade Haunt into short to see any early aggression there. It sees nothing, so they look towards going down long. We get the smoke dissipate as well. All right, so we've skipped forward to 58 seconds into the round, and I just want to break down the way this is all set up for you. So let's start with the Killjoy util and from what it all starts with. So we have this alarm bot here, which is only going to trigger once Boaster's all the way down in the bottom of sewers here. It's going to allow Laz to swing out, but he's going to swing out with this Omen paranoia that's going to come all the way through here. Anyone caught all the way at the bottom of sewers is going to be really, really punished, as well as chances for killing people at the top of sewers as well. The rest of the setup involves this really strange Killjoy turret right here. Now, this Killjoy turret is only going to be able to see anyone crossing to the right side of B. That has a nano swarm at the front of B. Now, you might be thinking, by the time they're here, how is this nano swarm going to be effective? But one, for example, if Jet or anyone gets ahead of their enemy team, we can use this nano swarm to separate them and isolate that fight. Also, 2, once this turret does go off, if someone's lurking through here, they might try and back out. This nano swarm is going to prevent that and allow Omen to swing through the chaos. And that's the main purpose of this turret, is to protect anyone lurking through, so Omen can stand here looking at the wall, flash out, as you can see in the main screen, so that he can flash as soon as he needs to. And then to complete this setup, we have Sova jump spotting from behind the boxes on site, looking down long. And we also have a nano swarm here to prevent and separate that push. So I really love what Zeta's done here with this setup. Really well thought out. A lot of things covered. Weak towards the seaside, but that is what it is. So the smokes and everything come out, and we get Durka gets into site. There's actually no one on site. So we get this really great site take. You see that nano swarm gets popped to separate the rest of the team from being able to follow through. Really great lineup with the KO flash here for Durka to swing out with this gravity well, and the smokes allow Durka to get all the way back to site really, really safely. Following him from that, Boaster triggers the alarm bot. The flash comes out. Laz swings, kills Boaster for free, and they maintain sewers control. So they actually have to use the Fade ultimate here to check how many people are in sewers. And then the rest of the team is regrouping, getting ready for this site retake. And now Fnatic's in a tough spot because this sewers control is really hard to deal with. So let's analyze this retake. We can see Durka's really worried about the sewers control. He's got the smoke up. These smokes are about to fade as well. And Spike isn't even quite down yet. But because Zeta has this sewers control, they want to go quick before Fnatic is able to come down here and flush out the Killjoy out of sewers. So the Leer comes out just ahead of the drone, which baits Durka's crosshair. The drone is then able to get a tag here as well. And then we have this really nice burst out from the rest of the team. So the Jet smokes the top of box here and smokes window, which is going to allow her to jump out. And we actually get this really sick Omen TP, which comes out into this front part of site, which no one's ever really looking at, right? And if you did this solo, it's a death wish. But because we have the drone that's just come out, 10 swinging here as well. The Jet's about to swing, and we have the Killjoy pressure coming up this way that Fnatic has to be really worried about. Leo has to be looking this way. And so SugarZero gets the kill on both Durka and Leo, and they just jump onto site. Alpha was too far away on that lurk. They weren't able to stall out, and Chronicle and Alpha just have to save. Really nice setup there from Zeta, which allowed them to maintain that sewers control, and definitely a multi-frag potential with that setup. So often you see Killjoy util group together to fortify space that you really want to protect. But in combination with the other util and the synergies that you can create with each other in different positions, Zeta gets a lot of value there from spreading the Killjoy util out across the map. Let's look at round 7, a really interesting round. There's a lot to break down in this one. We have an eco for Zeta. We do have one gun. I probably would have given the Vandal to 10 or to Dep just because the way that the Killjoy is going to be utilized in this round. And so let's get into it. So we're going to see this early A main pressure from Fnatic again. And Zeta has this really nice setup where they're actually just going to give it up. We get this early dart just to sort of check if they're coming fast through long, and Zeta's fall off A. They've got the Killjoy ultimate. What they want to do is they want to stack up together, and they want to play toward B and C. With their gun disadvantage, they're just going to try and set up a little bit of a gun stack, and they're going to get aggressive down towards mid as well. The smoke comes out from Omen, and then we're going to get all of this walkout here from Zeta in just a moment. You can see Durka's crept all the way up here in a very close angle. Durka playing out here on the lurk against the eco buy, I think, is a bit of a mistake. But once the smoke comes down, very interestingly, they sneak up. Laz gets a kill with that Vandal, and Leo trades one out, and they go, oh shit, let's go A. So they send it A. Alpha does a great job of not getting shot in the back as he rotates through. And before the plant even comes down, Laz commits to this Killjoy ultimate. And so Durka here with his really forward positioning, playing one out with this Vandal against this eco again, I think is a bit of an error, but it is a risk that you sometimes, I don't fault him for trying to take this risk and deal with this Killjoy ultimate and try and break it. So he does get traded out by Laz, and what you saw just then was Laz setting up a Killjoy molly, and it's actually just popped, right? We get a mistake here. Decides to just run in and survive it. That's not going to happen. So Leo goes down. Would have been much better off just trying to run down long and live out the containment. And then he could have had a Boaster here to fight and protect him. So Laz has already got 3 for the round. But then we get something really nice here from Boaster, and I think a bit of a misplay from SugarZero. SugarZero's just TP'd into a smoke here to start the defuse. That could have been anyone else to do that. What I think he would have been better off doing is coming down towards here in sewers and flashing this part of the map. Instead, he flashes down towards the little pocket where no one can be because we have that trap molly kill. So that flash is wasted, and Boaster gets the kill on the first. He gets the suck to deny the defuse, stall out the defuse, and they've planted in one of the best spots that you can plant if you're wanting to play this long position, because Boaster can duck in behind this box here as well as use this side of the wall to cover for this angle. And then Boaster does something absolutely genius here, places down a star, waits for it, has the patience, and then dissipates it. And Crow is caught reloading, trying to back up. He thinks he's in a smoke, so he's got a bit of time. So he gets taken down, and then they spam SugarZero, and he can't get on the spike. And a really, really nice play, and just shows the utility of Astra, both the gravity well and the dissipate there, coming in a huge moment. The Omen not getting as much value in that round. So you can see this sort of balance that we're weighing up. Okay, so coming into round 14, we're going to see Fnatic's pressure towards the A lobby from the defensive side. And one of the reasons why this works for a lot of teams and why a lot of teams opt to it is that this is quite a small space to fight in. And especially if you smoke it off here, you have 2 lanes that you're coming at as defenders versus just one little area for the attackers. So it's a great spot to fight for if you're curious as to why a lot of teams fight for this space. That's just one of the reasons. There are more. But as we get into the round, we're going to see this nice early stun and smoke combo from Chronicle and Boaster. So the smoke comes out and that allows the aggression for Chronicle to get into this really deep position. Now, there is a little bit of desync here for Fnatic, and their roster has changed, so adding Chronicle and Leo in, and so there is a little bit of discoordination here, but Chronicle does get a nice timing, and Durka and Leo were stalled by this dart. They couldn't just push through the Sova dart, but they are trying to do like a little bit of a crunch here. So Chronicle comes up, he realizes that he is kind of a little bit out on an island and doesn't want to give them the gun or the space of sewers, and so he dips, and Durka and Leo start pushing up. And now the problem is that, well, there's not really any problem. We have this perfect gravity well from Boaster, which just absolutely just decimates Zeta on the back of Durka's shooting. But look where Chronicle is. He's actually rotated all the way out of A. I think he was expecting to need to rotate. But if Durka and Leo are pushing up here, Chronicle definitely should be peeking this angle as well and all fighting it together. And Durka then gets the last little with the jumping right click, and we get the nice little 4K from Durka. But what you can see there is between the difference between the Omen and Astra is how the different layers of util are present for both of them, used in different ways, but still present for both of them. There's so many more rounds in this game that I could have broken down around B site. This round here, for example, as well, the final round of the match. But I am trying to keep these videos to specific topics about, specific agents on specific maps or areas or concepts in the map. Unfortunately, if I wanted to talk about all of it, it would go for probably hours. But I do break down my thoughts on each round live on Twitch. If you want to come join my Twitch stream, that's at StackManDu. The link will be down in the description. And if you enjoy this content and you're finding it helpful and useful for your own matches, that is my aim. Please subscribe and leave a comment below of anything that you would like to see or questions that you have that you would like answered. I'll be more than happy to make a video based on your suggestions. So enjoy tomorrow's video as well. If you missed yesterday's video from this Pro Invitational, please go back and watch it. And I hope you enjoy tomorrow's video as well. Till then, take care and have a good one.